uh, 2004 Mach 1. It, it's actually a pretty clean car. I've had it for about a year now. Oh, it has about 51,000 miles, I think it has. Started right up. Yep, 51,000. You can smell all the raw gas that came out of the exhaust. Actually sounds pretty good. But like I said, I've had this car for about a year now. I actually got an opportunity to take it to the track and everything. I did about a 13.3, I believe it did. And that was with the bad synchros in it. Actually, this car actually does have bad synchros. I gotta replace them. If I shift real fast, it grinds in third gear. That back there is my other truck, my other truck that I've been working on. That's an 86C20. But I thought it'd be fun to actually talk about this car a bit. They're not rare, and well, they are and they aren't. They're not one of the rarest Mustangs, or one of the most popular, because most people want the Terminator Mustangs, which, if I had the money, I'm not gonna lie, I would totally buy a Terminator. Which, if you don't know what a Terminator is, those are like the 204 Cobra Mustangs with the supercharger. They are awesome. This one makes a little bit less power than that one. These make about 300 compared to the Cobras. But they're much faster than like a normal GT. These are 4 valves. These actually have 4 valve. They actually have 4 cams. Sorry about that. It actually has a 4 cam motor. Very high, well, much higher revving than the GTs. I gotta move my floor mat here. I have these cheap floor mats in this car, and they slide forward right underneath the gas pedal. So let me see if I can set my camera somewhere. Guessing that's gonna be like maybe the best spot for it. I don't know, but we'll see. Woo. Okay, now since we got the camera situation fixed, I think. Let's talk more about the car. But like I was saying, 04 Mach 1, 32 valve motor, 300 horses. They're not. They are not. One of the fastest Mustangs. In fact, the new EcoBoost motors, or EcoBoost Mustangs, I should say, put out the same amount as this car. So when we say 300 horsepower today, that's not a lot. But back in 2004, that was actually a decent amount. Now, when it comes to complaints about this car, I only have a few. One thing that I have a complaint about are the seats. The seats are, in my opinion, they don't have a lot of back support in them. And they do have a lumbar support button here. No, does it? Yeah, it does. It does have lumbar support, but I don't know if it's my back or what, but it doesn't seem to work that well. I have, like I said, my Grand Cherokee, the seats in that, I know it's like comparing apples to oranges, but that car, it just has a lot more back support. I don't know. Maybe it spoiled me. But, again, comfort, when you buy one of these, you're not really going after it for comfort anyway. You're going after it for performance, for fun, for doing burnouts across the street and all that fun stuff. And for that, this car does great. And the ride actually isn't that bad. I actually owned a so what was that thing? 89 third gen Trans Am. That thing rode like you were just laying on a skateboard and just rolling down the sidewalk and hitting all the cracks. Like it it was horrible. Absolutely terrible. But I will say that car, it handled very well, even though it rode really rough. This car handles okay. I mean, I've definitely driven worse. I'm not gonna let it run too hot because the engine's still cold. Still trying to warm it up. I love this freeway. You kind of have to have a little bit of a quick car to go that high, because when there's a lot of traffic, nobody wants to let you over. Extremely fun. If you're thinking about buying one, definitely go for it. In my opinion, it's actually pretty practical too. I mean, I'm driving this car in the middle of winter on a nice day. I don't take it out when it snows or when it rains real bad. It's too nice of a car to risk somebody hitting it. For those occasions, I take out either the Jeep or the C20, which I know I get a lot of people saying, "Why you take out the C20?" or the Jeep fans are gonna get mad. But those are a lot easier to fix than this car, because I've actually had somebody hit the front of the Jeep while they were trying to turn around on our tight street, and that truck, all you had to do was just take off a couple of bolts and clips, and the whole front end comes off. The C20, that one needs work anyway. And it has rusty floorboards and rusty rockers, which are normal for those. Normally they actually usually rust out way worse than that up here in the north. There's usually nothing left of them. But I mean, this one's actually sort of a rare color. It's not the rarest. The blacks are definitely one of the rarer colors, though. I think the white pretty rare also, if I remember right. I might be wrong about that. I would have to look it up. It's either the blue ones, the black ones, or the white ones, or like the rarest ones, and like the orange and the yellows are popular, or something like that. I know for a fact though that most people didn't buy the automatic, so if you can't drive a stick, you're definitely going to have to search hard for it. I may try to give it a little bit of the beans, as people say, since the engine is pretty warm and there's a slower car ahead of me anyway. See if I can douse it. Well, put the phone back up there. That may have been a little bit of too much of the beans. I gotta get a camera mount. It's really hard. This dashboard, the way it's designed, obviously they were thinking about setting cameras on top of it. There's really no good place to set it. So forgive me about this video and the camera keeps falling over every time I make a hard turn or accelerate pretty hard or something. The whole phone gets knocked over. Hey, it's my first video like this. I swear they will improve. Oh. Yeah, somebody lost some boxes apparently. Yeah, I have a Denali tailgating me. I don't know if you guys can see that. Some people have no respect at all. Maybe I could see if I could tip the guy off, but I did not. That's the reason why it's so hard taking out a decent car, because you're scared. Like I applaud those people that I mean, this is just a Mach 1. It's a special Mustang, but it's not that special compared to something like a Terminator or a Cobra R or the new G350s that are coming out. I'd be terrified of taking those cars out because you don't know who's going to rear end it or something. And I apologize about talking about that a lot when people hitting behind other cars, but I had that happen. That was one of the things that happened to my third gen. I was coming off the off ramp and somebody rear-ended it. So now I'm real cautious about that. Somebody actually scratched this one. It's bad that I have it parked on the street, but hopefully I'll be moving here soon. It's a nice Jeep. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a lifted Jeep beside me, just past me. I'm gonna try to make a video on each one of my cars. This one is probably the most special out of the three. But I'm really excited to make a video on the C20 because that one actually has a pretty neat history on how I got it. And I mean, that's really half the fun when buying an old car like that is you're not so much buying the car as you are buying the history of the car. And I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I know that I've heard a lot of people say that, where they love the car, obviously. I mean, they bought the car, but they really love the story behind the car and its history and the family that it came from and all that. So I'm really kind of excited to talk about that one. This one is the most special. 4.6 liter, 300 horsepower, 4 cam, 6,500 RPM red line. That's another thing. The automatics actually have a lower red line than the sticks do. Not sure why Ford did that. Ford seems to do that a lot. I know for a fact that the SHOs, the automatic version, SHO on the second gens had a bigger motor than the sticks did. I think it had something to do with the way the transmissions were built and how much power they could take. I don't know which one could take more. I think the sticks, then the clutches and the sticks couldn't take as much horsepower as the automatics could. Sort of like what Subaru did with the SVX. How that car, they really didn't have a transmission that could hold up to it, so they made them all automatics instead of having some sticks. My phone might fall over here. There's an off-ramp here. We'll see. Nice exhaust. By the way, I don't know what the exhaust is. I bought it that way. Whoever had this car before me took really good care of it, and they put a aftermarket cold air intake on it, and they also put an aftermarket exhaust on it. And I think they might have put an aftermarket clutch. I'm not sure. I think this clutch grabs really well for a stock clutch, but more likely the stock clutch. Well, I'm at work. I'm sure the video turned out pretty bad. But thank you for watching. I hope to make more of these, and I hope to make them better, and also find a system with the camera so it doesn't keep falling over. I might give a couple people some laughs.